Good evening, and welcome back to Speed Gaming, where now we are presenting you a run from the Final Fantasy V Career Day Standard Flag Tournament. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're all looking forward to watching some Final Fantasy V Rando. We are bringing you a bottom bracket matchup between IBKarma and Fleury14. The winner of this will move on to the lower bracket semifinal, whereas the loser will unfortunately be out of the tournament. And a little later, about 12 hours from now, we'll bring the second matchup from the lower bracket. But for now, we have IBKarma versus Fleury14. I hope everybody's doing well out there. And with me tonight in the commentary booth is Fiery Blizzard. Fiery, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I am doing well. I am looking forward to this match. It is a match between two people who very much play a whole bunch of different Final Fantasy randos. I know both IBKarma and Fleury have been playing 4, 5, and 6 a lot, and IB has also been playing 1. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that sort of style propagates in 5, because it is quite a bit different.
Yeah, indeed. Both of these racers, certainly, I think Karma's got, two other Final Fantasies going on right now. I think he does 4 and 6, and I think Fleury is certainly very much known for Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. So this ought to be a good race. But make no mistake, these are both two very competitive runners in Final Fantasy V. Frankly, something like this you could expect this to be a semifinal in an upper bracket. Really, these are two very good runners.
Yeah, and it's the skill has been getting higher certainly each tournament. And so it's nice to see. This is, for those of you who aren't familiar with the idea behind this tournament, is that trap boxes or monsters in the box and have key items. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Career Day as a whole, the idea is to beat Neo-X-Def at the end of the Void. And to do that, we need to get 6 key items, basically. We need to get the Bracelet and the Anti-Barrier to get into World 3, or the Merged World, and we need the 4 tablets to go all the way through the Void. So that's the whole goal. We'll see how many other key items we need.
Yep, because there certainly can be some that lead to others that lead to others. The other big flag here that we've enabled for this tournament is that not all jobs are required. Oh, Dancer Crystal. Not all jobs are required to show up. So, some jobs are certainly better than others, and we actually just got one of them. The Dancer Crystal can be fantastic.
Yes, especially, well, you're still really looking for a tiara, rainbow suit, or ribbon, or say red shoes just to get that dance chance. But what's really nice about Dancer is actually early game, if you do get, say, basically the skill that saps HP, that's actually pretty powerful. That'll be more powerful than your sword dances in the beginning. So it can be interesting to watch.
And we do have hints enabled here, right? There are 5 hints in each world, World 1, World 2, and World 3. And right here we are saying that we are finding out that the Movable Waterway is Path to the Void. So Movable Waterway in World 2 will either have a key item or will yield something that will eventually lead to a key item.
Will always be a key item. The question is whether or not it'll be one of the 6 we are ultimately looking for.
Yeah, good point.
But, so the hint system, there is sort of a range of how many Path to the Voids you can get, which is basically our form of you need to do this to complete the seed. But there are 10 free hints that you get in the beginning, both in World 1 and World 2, and this flag set we open up both Bart's World, which is World 1, which is what we're in, and Galoof's World, which is World 2. So sort of a more higher tier world. And you get 10 hints there, 5 in each world, as Z-Man had commented before, and then World 3 has 5 hints, but there are 2 places, and they're both locked behind key items. So our racers may only get 10 hints throughout the course of the match.
All right, it all kind of depends on where the seed takes them, right? And we do have, speaking of seed taking, we do have Karma going into Tool, a rather kind of standard play here. Going to do some looting and check our first trap chest here in the in the beginner's house.
So we're gonna see. You can always get a tablet in the first trap chest, and then immediately go to sealed. That's ultimately what both racers are going to be looking for, I think, is just finding an early tablet. Sealed Castle is sort of the big place that you can get a lot of power really quickly. But you need a tablet to get 3 of the items. So we did see that. Go ahead.
I was going to say we do have a bit of a difference here as far as items go. Fleury picking up equipped whips, which for a dancer can be really powerful if you find that flame whip and something to help with sword dance. But we also, as you can see on Fleury's side, we also see the barrier tower as Path to the Void.
Yes, which means you do absolutely need the sub key. I'm sure Fleury is having flashbacks right now to that particular hint, because the last time he saw that hint was against Alistair in the winner's bracket, and Omniscient was sitting out there with no way to mute. Which was a 45-minute to an hour puzzle, let's put it that way, for both racers.
Of course, it also gives me a little bit of a flashback, because I had that same hint, and when I went up to Barrier Tower, it was the top of Barrier Tower that was required, and it was a Leviathan. So,
yeah, it has not been kind. There are 2 trap chests in Barrier Tower that could also hold what is going to be Path to the Void, but there's no guarantee either way.
And as you see here, we are starting with the Red Mage job. Oh, and Alamia's Tiara. Hello.
Yeah, not a key item, but if you have Dancer, you're not going to complain about a Tiara, for sure. So, equip whips, to your point earlier, is interesting, because the big thing about that is you won't be able to get any of the procs from whips. Generally, you either have a 50% paralysis chance or a 33% chance for an elemental spell like Fire 3, but Dance basically gets rid of that. So it can be interesting to use Dance with whips. It's nice, but it's not always what you want. My favorite would be sort of equip swords. I think that's probably what most people would prefer.
Equip katanas is good too.
Yep. The main oh, there's Mix. Okay. And Magic Sword 4. So we're not going to have any Omniscient problems, because we have Mute Blade, and we have Magic Sword 4, and we have Mix, so...
Yeah, and one of the big things for those that might not be familiar with it, we have mentioned that the Tiara is such a good item for the dancer, right? There are 3 items out there that Fiery mentioned earlier, right? The red shoes, the rainbow dress, rainbow suit, and the Lamia's Tiara, which we just found another one. And those items will increase the probability of seeing sword dance from 25 to 50%, and I believe it is Tempting Tango that drops out in that case.
Yep, that is correct.
Yep, so that makes the Tiara hyper valuable for dancers, because not only do we get rid of a dance that really isn't great, we also increase the rate of sword dance, which is absolutely obliterative with the right weapons in a dancer's hands.
Yeah, it can sweep through even the end game if you have the right weapons. What is particularly nice is if you happen to have like a ninja with that set up, just because then you have two-handed. It's a little bit tricky to set up. We're gonna get our Moor check in IBKarma, and we have Hiryu Valley on Fleury's side. For those of you familiar with the vanilla game, Town of Moor here has a chicken knife and a brave blade chest, and you can only take one of those 2 in vanilla, and it's much the same here. You can only take one of the 2 chests. So generally you'll choose one, you'll reset, and then look at the other and make your decision there.
And again, for those of you that might not be familiar with this randomizer, we do have a tiering system to the treasure chests. The later in the game that a particular area appears, the higher tier loot can be in here, which is why we're having Fleury check out Hiryu Valley and IBKarma doing this check right here, because they are both higher tier spots, so you can get better loot at the higher tier spots. So that's kind of the idea there.
Hey, it's vanilla. A little unfortunate. Oh, there's blue as well.
There's my bowl of blue.
So if you have mix and you have blue, you're pretty good. Looking at these shops, you pick up blue, you pick up Deathclaw. And...
Yeah, right next door, not only do you have level 4 quarter, which is okay, that Deathclaw can be fantastic.
Yeah, so bosses in this game, a lot of them are not immune to a lot of status effects. One in particular, Break is sort of the normal one, or Stone. But a big one is a heavy status or a non-heavy status. So heavy status just means that they're immune to most forms of instant death, not doom. But some bosses are not heavy, which means they're vulnerable to Deathclaw, they're vulnerable to True Edge by Odin, which instantly kills them, and a couple other things. But Doom and Death are actually two completely different things.
Yes. Although we do have another hint on Fleury's side, we have the ship graveyard path to the void.
Yeah, and that may very well be the anti-barrier in World 1 hint that we got earlier. Which we'll find out pretty quickly. Ship graveyard is generally within the first couple of checks that people will do.
And also interesting to kind of, observe here. Both of our runners both have access to Fire 3 Magic Sword and Bolt 3 Magic Sword levels, which then makes the Magic Sword level 5 super nice if they can find it for sale or in one of these upper tier treasure chests. Because if you hit an enemy that is weak to fire or weak to thunder with a Fire 3 or Bolt 3 sword, they will instantaneously die most of the time. Except for some of the bosses that have the heavy status.
Yeah, they have to be non-heavy, and at which point, if you have blue and Deathclaw, that may be that would be quicker. But it is also very good to know. Really, you'll see that against, say, Biblos with Fire 3. Really,
or,
the main one to say.
Or the Cray Claw with lightning.
A Cray Claw, in particular, has so many status effects you can inflict on it, so... It's certainly not likely to dodge a Deathclaw or something like that. So, I've been talking a lot about Deathclaw. If you're not familiar with that blue magic, what it does is it sets basically paralysis, and it also puts the enemy at critical HP, or single-digit HP, which means any single hit, assuming that they do more than 9 damage, will instantly kill that boss, which makes it so powerful. Also, Blue Mage in this game is just broken if you know how to use it, and you set it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Blue Mage with Mix is even more ridiculous. Mix, if you're familiar with Final Fantasy X, not 5, you know how broken Mix is in Final Fantasy X. It is significantly more broken in 5, somehow.
Yeah, and just to give Fiery says that blue is broken. Fiery is one of the runners that known for absolutely loving blue strats, especially what we call death by math. If you get level 2 old, level 3 flare, level 4 quarter, and especially level 5 death, you can handle a lot of bosses in this game with level 2 old and level 5 doom. If you time everything just right, you can do a lot of bad things to a lot of big bosses.
Yeah, and assuming they don't have wall, Mix and level 5 Doom will kill every boss that doesn't have wall. Just because you can raise their level to 255. That is the maximum level ceiling in this game. And of course, 255 is divisible by 5. So, if you don't mind spending a whole bunch of mixes, and we have a Mimic ability too, so it wouldn't even take that long to raise levels like that. It would be a very interesting application, but you can absolutely do it.
Oh, hi, Biblos.
One emission should kill this. Biblos is weak to fire and will absorb every other element. But the spot only has 250 HP at the top of Wind Shrine. So... fast. I wonder if somebody will Deathclaw Biblos to paralyze so we don't get that sort of end speech. It can be a little nice time save to sort of skip that dialogue. But we'll get our second key item check here, which is the tablet. Alright.
Always got to love an early tablet, so I would imagine we'll probably get a real quick check of Kuza Castle to see what's in here, because a lot of times what's in Kuza Castle can really blow the doors off a seed and make things go super fast.
Yes, and it is actually interesting that both players decided to go into World 2 before checking this particular spot, because you will almost always be able to kill what's here. And there's always a chance that it can be a tablet, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see what Fleury chooses to do here. It looks like Fleury is probably doing Torna Canal and Ship Graveyard.
So here's a fun fact. Dance is actually kind of interesting here because a Jitterbug Duet will actually just kill Biblos straight out, so it will do more than 250 damage. So we have Dark Shock and we have Rake, which are both very nice magics to have.
Yeah,
Dark Shock will divide an enemy's level by 2 with a floor component, so say Greg 3 or something that is level 31 will turn into level 15.
And something that Lily kind of mentioned in chat earlier, with the whole blue ability. Given that we saw blue and mimic so soon, it's almost kind of a shame that they took the mimic ability over Blowfish, because the Blowfish ability it'll get you through World 1 and a lot of some of the World 2 spots, but you could only choose one of Blowfish and Mimic.
And for those of you not familiar with Blowfish, it is known in later versions as 1000 Needles. It does 1000 damage. So, very fast, not very expensive spell. And there's Slash.
Oh, that makes going to hear you real interesting. Oh, and Hunter and Chemist here.
Well, you don't pick up Chemist because you found Mix.
Right.
And you have Red Mage, so you have a staff. If you find late stage to beat X-Def over the head with, you can just use a Red Mage for that.
And we're going to get the hint here from the pub in Ruger.
Karnak Meteor has the Moogle suit. That is nice to know.
That is very nice to know. The Karnak Meteor is something that most runners will do anyways, and knowing that it has the Moogle suit. Now, the Moogle suit is certainly... the Moogle village is nerfed from previous versions. The loot isn't as high tier, but it's still high tier enough that if you get it early, you want to rate it. You want to rate it rather early.
We got the freest of all fights at Torna Canal here, and we get a sealed castle check from Fleury. We're not taking a Tinkerbell. Not taking Flare Sword. You've got equipped whips. If you take that Dragon Whisker, that wouldn't be too bad. X-Scal if you had equipped swords. Magic Sword level 6. Now you might take that Flare Sword. X-Fight. Summon level 5. Reacts. And the last one is a Flame Ring. So you take... It would be hard to pass up Flare Sword, Magic Sword level 6, and X-Fight.
Oh, see, I would consider Magic Sword level 6, the Flare Sword, and I would take Summon. I would take Summon level 5.
Yeah, that's valid. The question is whether or not you're gonna actually... I mean, okay, I guess you want to take it because you have Golem and Shoat. You're not gonna... Probably not gonna run across Sildra or Leviathan anytime soon. Or Odin. So that's fair. It depends on how quickly you think you're gonna get another tablet. You probably come in here at least once more, probably only once more.
Yeah, other than that, the loot wasn't fantastic, right? If you find the equipped sword ability, then obviously Excalibur is a no-brainer. You put Dance and Excalibur together with somebody with the Tiara, and you watch the damage go insanity. Flare Sword will be great, especially like against X-Death in World 2. So we'll see what happens.
Probably still want to see mostly Jitterbug duets here. I don't know what Ferris is holding, but probably should think of something else.
And you gotta go quick here because that sap status is gonna get him soon, but the Cure 2 saves him.
Yeah. You're not a terribly difficult fight, honestly. Doesn't have much of the things that make Catastrophe dangerous. There is technically a lock you can do on Catastrophe, but I don't think it's possible to... Well, you have Meg, so technically it's possible to set up, but I don't think it's worth it. Although it might be. What I can't tell is whether or not that was all back row dancers, which,
It looked like it.
Yeah, you probably want to move your dancers to the front row.
Yeah, because I don't believe Catastrophe will really pretty much ever do any physical damage.
Nope. And just in general, you should never be putting a character that has melee. As much as dance is a magical attack, it is using sort of a... Front row, back row does matter.
And of course, now that we want Jitterbug, and of course, now that we want Jitterbug Duet to hit, it's not hitting because that's the way it works.
So, I'm trying to think if Jitterbug Duet would actually do all that much here just with the magic defense, but if you break a rod, which is always a good thing here, breaking a rod will do the corresponding level 3 spell. That will instantly take care of anything. Steamship key. Well, we know that is Path to the Void, and even if it weren't, you will automatically do that anyways. That gives you 5 chances at key items.
Right, and decently high tier key items. I mean, I think they're level 5, I think. So you can get some good stuff in there.
I believe the 3 trap chests are tier 6. There are 9 tiers of items. So level, tier 6 is actually higher than I think Barrier Tower is.
So I'm not sure what knife Fleury has equipped, but his sword dance there just did 900 to Catastrophe's face. So whatever he's got, it's good.
It also helps that I believe that dancer was probably front rowed.
Yeah, that helps.
So Karma was doing basically comparable damage, just halved because of back row. This is not Final Fantasy IV, there is no such thing as the back row glitch. Karma is going to check the hint at Rigor and then go to his sealed castle.
Mm-hmm. Be interesting to see what Karma takes. Fleury, of course, shopping here in Carwin.
Selling a Venom Rod is interesting because there are definitely places you want to have a Venom Rod. Apocalypse is weak to Bio. Archeo Avis, you can skip pretty much... In certain spots, you can skip basically the entire fight with a Venom Rod. But they're, enough niche uses that I don't think you get enough money from selling a Venom Rod that I would sell it, because it only sells for, I think, 750 gil, something like that.
Alright, so we have Karma now heading into Kusa Castle, and it looks like we're going to have Fleury do the Waltz Meteor.
Yes, and you'll see this play a lot. Waltz Meteor is actually a pretty high level meteor, but it gives so much XP that it feels broken. Of course, there are bosses in this game that actually don't give XP, and you're hoping not to see one of those here. But it also only has 1,250 hit points, I think. So it's a fairly easy boss spot. Like in this case, you could just break 2 rods and be done with it. That's going to be the fastest way by far, because you're probably not surviving to the ability to instantly kill Twintania.
Alright, so IBKarma taking X-Fight.
You have to get lucky to not eat a counter from Twintania here. But you'll get like 15 levels by beating Twintania at this spot, so I would just keep on trying.
All right, so it looks like Karma and Fleury took the same thing out of Kuza. Summon 5, Magic Sword 6, and X-Fight.
All right. So this is interesting. You could come back later, and beat Go-Go with damage here. It would require a lucky sword dance, and you need significantly more levels, but you could do that, or you just wait the 3.5 or so minutes.
Well, given how high experience this Tycoon Meteor is, I think you wait a couple of minutes here, and you just you take the free experience and the free 200 battle point ability point, and you just go from there.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, with knowing that Twintania is at a meteor, I would probably do that first, and then you actually should have enough levels to instantly kill Go-Go. So there's that too. Karma is waiting this out. Luckily, it's interesting that he's doing it. It's sort of the safe way, assuming that you won't just get AoE killed, which Breath Wing is a percentage-based attack, so you're not gonna die from Breath Wing. So it's 5 turns, and then Twintania will charge his Mega Flare, or Giga Flare, at which point he is vulnerable to everything. And so, as long as it hits...
That's a problem. Yeah, if Death Claw doesn't hit there, it's not... So Twintania charges for Giga Flare. It's not long before that Giga Flare comes out and annihilates you.
Alternatively, he could have just broken 2 rods there. Twintania, I don't think, counters during that charge phase. So, you would have been safe by doing that as well, and I think you probably had enough turns to try that. But just as well, we move on.
We do have Karma going up here for the North Mountain check. It's a check some people leave until later, and hopefully they'll get, they'll find the Mirage Radar and then do both North Mountain checks at first. Although if there's something important here, then that can give a runner a real big advantage, because, some people do leave this for a while.
So again, Karma has all these characters in the back row. I believe these stalkers are going to do Mind Blast, which will kill. Mind Blast is a beautiful piece of blue magic, though. Go-Go giving us a ribbon, not particularly what we were looking for, but considering we have dancers, is something that is very nice to see eventually.
Yeah, but we also get some decent levels out of it.
Yeah. This is where dance actually is pretty nice if you have the stalkers asleep, because dance will not wake up the stalkers. But the stalker does need to be asleep for that. Fleury going to Karnak Meteor, which we know will give them Moogle Suit.
Yep, and I would imagine then as soon as Fleury gets the Moogle Suit, he'll go chase that.
I would imagine so. I remember getting lucky on some of these sword dances for sure.
Well, he knew, well, I was going to say he knew where that one was because he did put that particular stalker to sleep. Oh, and we have Rama. Nice.
Flash. Death Claw. Not heavy at all. Still has to hit.
And of course, Slash misses. Death Claw, of course, misses. Because why wouldn't it?
And just a Guardian. I say just a Guardian. I think it's probably undervalued.
I mean,
you see it a lot more in 4-Job Fiestas, where
yeah.
Guardians are actually an important dagger, or important knife. Courier Day, it loses its luster, because you're not really worried about defending.
There we go. Rama taken down, and we're about to get a Moogle Suit here for Fleury.
Which I imagine will be immediately turned in as well. I'd be surprised if not. because you really only come here knowing that there's a Moogle suit here if you're going to turn it in immediately. Maybe you take a... Oh no, you're too low level, possibly, to do Moogle Waterway. You still might do that into Moogle suit.
Oh, and a rainbow suit. That's nice. So with that ribbon you get from Go-Go, right now you can have a dancer with a ribbon and rainbow suit. It'll still have the 50% sword dance and be immune to every single, status.
And so that is 2 of the 3 best in slot armors for dancer. The third is you want running shoes, which just grant haste. At which point, GG, right? Your DPS is a little bit ridiculous at that point.
Yeah, especially if you get like a chicken knife or, one of the equipped blah 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 and a high level blah blah blah.
I'm level 6.
Level 6. That's fantastic.
So now we're hoping for... Well, we don't need X-Zone Meteor, is what we hope for.
Holy Sword Magic. That's nice.
Summon L4 would be nice if we didn't already pick up Summon L5.
But that Holy Sword plus... Magic Sword level 6... plus times 6 with haste 2 already picked up, X-Death in X-Death's castle is going to get obliterated.
Yeah. Of course, if you wanted to be cheeky, he was always going to get obliterated because you have blue. If you want to spend the time to set that up. But no, I mean, we have X-Fight, we have Holy Sword, although you can't do them both at once with the setup we have. But yeah, X-Death is not going to last long in his castle.
Of course, we have to actually get to the castle, though, and to get that, we need both the anti-barrier and the bracelet, and of course, we have neither. Although we do know that the anti-barrier is somewhere in World 1.
Yep, and most likely in Steamship, or in that half of the Steamship key, because it is 5 key item checks. Talking to the Moogle. Is that weakness to float?
That was a weakness to... That was weakness to float, I think.
Alright. We found Sing over in Karnak here.
Woohoo! Of course, talking to that Moogle, right, we see a weakness. That is for the optional Mega Boss that you can take instead of the Ned and Ted fight.
Of course, that doesn't win you the game. But if you wanted to be cheeky, you could totally beat it. It used to be in previous iteration, or the previous iteration of this tournament, you could beat an optional super boss, not Shinryu or Omega, but there is another super boss that was added to the randomizer that we refer to as the portal boss. It's one of 3 bosses, and that used to be a win condition for the game. That is removed in this one.
Oh, I'm being informed in chat that the weakness is for Shinryu and for Omega, not for the portal boss. My bad. Alright, so we have Fleury doing the steamship, and we have Karma doing the Moogle Waterway, which we do know is Path to the Void.
Yep. Alright, well, Karma, move Butsu, or Gata, to the front row. Let's see. No.
Nope.
And this is disgusting. You have Mute Blade, you probably want to use it. Especially if you already have a magic sword set up. Kaolo is not immune to mute, but it will stop everything.
So Mind Blast gets reflected.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah, I found that one out the hard way.
So did Karma.
Uh-huh.
And we have Antlion out in the steamship. Not too bad. Not on the moon. There's no moon in this game. But still not on the moon anyways. Aqua Rake will do some nice damage to Antlion.
I believe we also have the throw. We can throw some water schemes or that javelin or a knife or something to do some decent damage.
Yeah. Water scheme would be a nice bit of damage for sure. See, I'm surprised Karma doesn't realize that you can use power. I know we have music. I know we have Magic Sword equipped.
And there's the adamantite from the steamship itself.
That is 2 more checks that gives us access to the Flying Locker Ruins, which gives us 2 key items. That may very well be what we need to do to get the antidote. Or it could be the steamship key. Here's what I'm talking about. You can tell that Flurry comes from Free Enterprise because all 4 save slots are in use, despite not really making a difference in this game. It's always fun to see.
So far, some decent loot here from the castle.
I'm level 4, something that isn't bad if you didn't already have Tom 6. Paolo is not terribly fun. And so this spot has 5,000 HP. And Karma is not doing any favors by leaving his dancers in the back row. I've done this before where I just didn't realize that my dancers were in the back row. I do not believe you're gonna run out of MP. You're not gonna run Callow out of MP here. I don't know how much MP Callow does have here.
Okay, we have Flurry taking on the first trap chest here. First trap chest is a Gigas. What do we get? We get Gold Hairpin.
Not bad. You have plenty of places to use magic, so having the MP cost of spells is certainly nice. So here's the other reason why I would pick up L2 Old from a Magic Dragon. Ooh, Night Crystal. Night Crystal with Dance, and then X-Cal.
Yeah, so, alright, so you're...
Right.
Yeah, a knight with an X-Cal and X-Fight for X-Death, okay. Not to mention that we have the Holy Sword with a knight. Yeah, this is not going to go well for X-Death in his castle at all.
Probably deserves it. Karma finally being like, this has gone on long enough.
Yep.
Another Gigas. So, I was talking about L2 Old in Next Steps Castle, and the reason why is Magic Dragon has the opportunity to also use Arrow 3, which is a very nice blue spell. There is a formation, there are 2 formations you can get. You can get a single Magic Dragon, or you can get 3 Magic Dragons and a Rage, and some wolf. There's a submarine key. We know that is Path to the Void because of Barrier Tower. And from there you can learn White Wind, Arrow 3, and L2 Old. So, decent encounter if you're looking to learn blue spells naturally, because White Wind is a nice spell for sure. And there's Sandman Bait. Triplets.
This is annoying.
Aqua Rake will kill them. They only have 400 HP each here. So, Aqua Rake will kill a throw of a scroll would have killed, assuming it wasn't one of the elementals that they absorb, so Thunder would be your best bet. Rod Breaking would also kill here.
Yeah. Although Rake gets all of them.
And the anti-barrier. So that was 4 key items, right? The only thing that wasn't a key item was a gold hairpin.
That was a full complement, right? It was the sub key, the Sandworm Break, the Adamantite, and the anti-barrier.
And it was Path to the Void. So we know the sub key is at minimum also Path to the Void.
Mm-hmm.
We will see if everything else is also Path to the Void. Can never tell what exactly it's referring to.
Right.
And the odds play is to actually check all of them, if you want to be like sort of statistical about it. IBKarma following behind, and also going for the steep ship. I'm surprised he did the Moogle Waterway first. I guess it makes sense if you're at Moogle Village, go do the Waterway. Just unfortunate you ran into Callow there.
Yeah, we do have a White Wind available in World 2 shop here in Surgate.
Did Fleury at least pick it up?
Absolutely, and now he's going to pick up Nyx.
So we're really close to basically having a very trivial X-Def, Neo-X-Def fight at the end here. We just need E level Sildra, Leviathan. We have Mimic, so even Bahamut would work. Or Giltos, which is sort of the premier endgame strat. Throw money at things.
Throw money at your problems.
An RPG staple.
We have Karma taking on the Antlion here.
So the only status that we don't have available to inflict is Break or Stone. And so I assume a showing up would be very nice at some point.
Golem showing up would be nice too.
Yeah. Especially with Dancers. Dancers do not have a high HP to pool at all. So that can get pretty rough. Where are you gonna go take on that Hiryu plant? Going into Kelb.
Given where he parked the ship, though, that to me that says that he's going to do first go through Kelb here, and then probably head up to the Hiryu plant and get a ton of experience from that.
Yeah, it does surprise me that neither player has actually gone to... Now you don't. Mountainous areas, so no North Mountain, no Hiryu Valley. So we're not going to go beat that Hiryu plant. But as I was saying, I'm surprised neither player has actually gone to Bao Castle yet. Now there's equipped swords and equipped katana.
Yeah, I would snap those up instantaneously. All right, and now at this point, I'm thinking to myself, all right, where's the tablet? I want a tablet. Give me a tablet.
Well, your best bet would be that barrier tower. Because we know that there's at least one key item that we need there. At the same time, equipped swords is... So we have Knight, but we have X-Fight. So while equipped swords is nice, it's not necessary at this point.
Well, I mean, at some point maybe you pick up like an Enhancer or Ragnarok or a Brave Blade, and that's again really nice and a Oh, speaking of show,
statistically, you will do more damage with X-Fight than you will with Dance. Especially on a Knight.
Yeah, it's true.
I like to see Shoke here early, because otherwise Shoke can be a massive pain. Here, he's just a regular pain.
I'm a little surprised that Fleury just isn't breaking a rod over Shoke's head.
That is generally the answer to most things.
Especially in World 1.
Yeah.
Encounter a problem? Break a rod.
I'm surprised that Dancer doesn't have a ribbon equipped.
Yeah. Unless it was sold for money.
That would be an interesting decision with Dancers.
Yeah, right?
I just don't think Fleury is optimized since he got a ribbon.
There's the sword dance he was looking for.
3000 HP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Even still, he's got to be close. Like, within a hair's breadth.
Oh yeah. Shout is not long for this world. And even better, this gives you the shout item. So your ability to now break enemies is online. And another gold hairpin for your magic casting needs.
No key item there. Yeah, at some point, maybe this is the check here, but at some point you got to go check that Moogle Waterway.
So Moogle Waterway and Barrier Tower, one of those is going to lead to a tablet. Now, it might not give you a tablet, but we know they both can't be the bracelet.
This is true.
And Karma picking up his sub key. And certainly Cure. Cure is not actually strong enough to kill here. Or Cure 2. Dance is not terribly great here, because they are undead, which means any sap ability will instead strengthen the enemy and kill you.
Oh, Karma's going to be in trouble here. I don't think he's going to get in a turn before the other two revive. Maybe. Oh, he will. All right.
Never worried. And speaking of breakable bosses, Ifrit here. Take that newly acquired shout.
And goodbye, Ifrit. All right, we're going to get our first hint here from Sage Guido.
What branches in World 2? Woo. That could be fun. Hey Karma, are any of your levels level 5 divisible? You want to go get L5 Doom?
You and that blue spell.
It's not working level-wise anyways. Man, that's time 4, time 5, and time 6.
Mm-hmm. Of course, not picked up in that order.
No. I'm also just proud that Karma has moved someone to the front row now. Not all of his dancers, but at least the person who's using X-Fight. X-Fight will draw 2 counters from Shout here.
The pyramid holds the falls page. Interesting.
There are 4 key items in the pyramid, so it doesn't have to be the boss. It could be any of the 3 trap chests. I expect, unless we happen to find all 4 tablets really quickly, pyramid is basically a always go-to because the loot in there is absolutely ridiculous. It is by far the highest tiered spots in the game by weight.
So I would think Fleury is going to have a much easier time with Caliphystery here than Karma did.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably an understatement, even without Need Blade. Higher levels help a lot here too.
Well, yeah.
I wonder if when either player is going to go back to that Twin Tanya. at Waltz Meteor.
If ever.
No, I think you do that before you climb X-Steph's castle for sure.
I mean, I would, but you never know what our runners are going to do.
Yeah, assuming they don't forget about it. It's one of those things that if you climb X-Steph's castle, like 1 or 2, you know, if you have a tablet or 2 tablets left, really clearing out World 1 and World 2 is going to be a good bet, because there's always a slim chance that you can skip checks in X-Steph's castle.
Golem pickup here in Flying Lanka. Or whatever it is before the catapult. What do we call that thing before the catapult?
I just call it a catapult. I mean, technically it's Lanka Ruins, but it takes you to the catapult. It's probably just called the catapult.
Fleury getting some really nice sword dance procs here. Should be able to take down Kello. I think 1 more will do it.
Maybe a couple. Wing Raptor here. Not too bad. $5,000 HP with armor can take a while.
Artemis's bow for IBKarma from the catapult. If he had the equip bowls ability, that'd be nice on a dancer.
Karma is showing what X-Fight can do, and why it may be preferable over dance.
Oh, they did Karma pick up the Hunter ability? Or yeah, the Hunter Crystal.
We know where it is, because it's in the same place that Chemist was in. There's the bracelet. So you can get into X-Steph's castle now. Well, all the way through. But I think you do Barrier Tower before. Because you know you're going to have to do that eventually anyways.
Yep.
And you're still very much hoping for a tablet.
And we have Karma taking on Go-Go.
The X-Fight should kill Go-Go here, assuming... No. It's gonna be close. Go-Go has pretty high defense. The good thing is that X-Fight doesn't miss.
And see what Karma just... Good.
Otherwise, swords have a very... they seem to miss a lot, but X-Fight just avoids that problem completely.
And it looks like IBKarma's just going to wait it out. I kind of... he'd be close with the X-Fight. Because how much HP is here? 3,000? 2,500?
A little under 25, I believe. I would try it. Like, if you saved recently, I would try it.
Nope, not going to get there.
Nope. This is also unfortunate because what you could do is put on Mix on somebody and raise the Knight's level by 10. And if you do that, you win. If you get a sword dance here, if it wasn't a double turn because of X-Fight, that is going to be, unless you get very, very lucky, that is GG for that fight.
No. Didn't get lucky.
Well, I mean, Bartz would have had to been the one to survive. Karma's just going to come back with a little bit more levels and not sit through that. I wonder if he's forgotten that he has Mix, or maybe they don't have Revivifies.
They have Revivifies.
Then he could just mix up a Samson power. And then
so, Fleury's looking for something. I'm not sure what he's looking for.
I mean, those are songs, and you picked up Sing. You should take those songs.
Always.
Nice. Ooh, Carbuncle.
Carbuncle meet X fight.
X-Fight will cause problems here. Carbuncle will counter.
Oh, I forgot about the counter.
And you're not doing 3,300 damage on X-Fight. I'm surprised you didn't do 2 counters, so...
And now we have Fleury about to do Catapult, which is actually really nice for Fleury, because that way he's going to get his golem.
That works.
See you later, Kata.
So, it's also hard to keep track of where in the script Kirby is when you start attacking. Normally, the standard strat is to wait 3 turns, and then he changes phase, and then you can do a number of instant kill attacks. But if you start attacking Carbuncle, the script sort of goes out of whack. So, damage. And just a stealth road. And Fleury getting that golem. Gotta be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so maybe now Karma's going to make his way back to Ball Castle and then maybe the Moogle Waterway.
He also has not gotten the kelp. So we also will find out that Hiryu Valley is not the place to be. We will not be eating any vanilla tonight, or at least not for that spot.
Karma doing a little dance with that wolf and kelp.
Either the wolves or it's gonna be Moogles. You can take your pick.
Has he gone to... I think... Has Karma gone to the Karnak Meteor to pick up his Moogle suit?
I thought he did.
Well, if he goes there, we'll find out quick.
I did that earlier. Honestly, I don't remember at this point.
No, I don't either, and I don't have it marked on the tracker.
Huh.
Karma taking on Ifrit, and I'm sure Karma wishes that he had Oh, he does have summon!
Yeah, so it's X-Fight.
That's true.
I was gonna say, that's at least time 5, and time 5 was it all, wasn't it? So that must be time 6 he has equipped. Which was from Moogle. I don't know.
I don't know.
If this is time 5, then we know. It might be time... Yeah, okay.
Okay, so he has done Moogle. Okay.
Yeah.
Fleury taking on Carbuncle here. Did grab... Oh, there we go. That should take care of... Oh, yeah. Kirby's dead. That's right, because Carbuncle is technically a beast. And the Artemis's bow will always crit against a beast. Yay, Hunter.
Yep. I would be surprised if Kirby wasn't a beast, but Kalu is a beast as well. So there are some odd things, and in true Final Fantasy fashion, Bahamut is not a dragon. So, but Shoat is a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to see Leviathan up here? They have ways to beat Omniscient. I feel like I want to see Minotauros here, actually. They have ways to deal with it. Would not be
Bahamut or
difficult.
Odin? Well, Odin they have a way to deal with. Alright, because then they could just both free sword.
Break was just sitting in walls. Like the spell break. We have black 4, I think.
So who do we want to see up here for I mean, Bahamut? I mean, would that make sense for some trollage?
Especially as Karma doesn't have Sing, and we did find Love Song. Or we saw it. Yellow Dragon is the nicer the tune counters when you have Slash or Deathclaw or anything, because Yellow Dragons are not heavy. I believe they technically are undead though, so that's a bit sketchy. Otherwise, if you're not instant killing Yellow Dragons, they are actually much worse than Red Dragons because I think they have 10,000 HP each.
Yeah, plus there are two of them. Alright, so if they both decide to thunder, that's a problem.
But like I said, they are not heavy, which means Deathclaw will work. And nearly an hour into the scene, we are finally getting a Lost Kingdom check.
That one's easy to forget. Trust me, I've done it.
Oh yeah. It's kind of funny where this seed has been.
Yeah, we definitely have kind of been a bit all over the place here.
It's interesting because I feel like there was the old meta of you want to be in X-Stuff's castle at about an hour. We could technically go into X-Stuff's castle right now, and we see Vanilla, so we didn't get to beat Vanilla up in Hiria Valley, but we will be beating Vanilla here.
Karma picks up another gold hairpin.
And a bard.
Yay. I mean, they have Sing.
Did IBKarma actually pick up Sing?
I don't know. It's a good question. I would think that, if they see Sing, it's a snap pickup, but who knows?
We'll find out if Bahamut's up here. There's our Hero call, which we got a hint about. Alistair confirming, or saying that only red dragons are undead and yellows are not undead. Okay. I can never remember. I know reds are undead. I could never remember if yellows were also.
And there's the thunder to the face that IBKarma takes, and Fleury now looks like Fleury's going to the barrier tower.
Oh, for Fleury, this is, other than the Twintania, the last thing he has before X-Stuff's castle. Oh, he has front of library, which no one does, really.
True.
And, I guess, Flying Walker Ruins, now that I think about it. Okay, so he has a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they both have the Adamine type, which could be done.
But you know this path to the void, so you do it.
Alright, there we go. Let's see what the second chest in the barrier tower gives. It gives the pyramid page.
Which we know gives the fall, at the very least it gives the falls page. You can give 3 other key items. But no one's going to be upset about a pyramid page in this flag set with what generally comes out of pyramid. And unlike all those yellow dragons that Karma saw, we see a red dragon. Come on, Leviathan. Oh, there's your Bahamut.
Called it! This is annoying.
I mean, Bahamut, what, does probably the highest attack here is Atomic Ray? Maybe.
Oh, the Mega Flare.
I don't think he can do Mega Flare in World 2.
Can he?
We may or may not find out. I mean, if you die here, you put on Sing, or you have a... Hopefully you pick up that love song.
I'm a little surprised. Go ahead.
I could go check what he can have here.
I'm a little surprised that he's not putting up Golem.
Let's see. Try's only expecting a single target flare. That would be my guess. I expect Atomic Ray, but maybe not even that. The Bahamut, Atmos spot. Alright, Atmos spot is the first spot in the entire list that you can actually do Mega Flare. Any other spot below that will not have Mega Flare, but it's mostly Flare in the script. So.
To answer Dry, well, we found the Sing ability earlier, but any love song, we know Fleury has the love song. We're not sure if Karma picked up love song.
They have only a single instance of Mega Flare here, unlike later tiers or later spots. It depends. I mean, your DPS here isn't great, so you may end up running into it anyways. But it would be... It's decently unlikely, but you do have that out if it does happen. I'm just surprised it was even in the script once. And we see... Oh, well, speaking of Bard, we see Sing used to great effect on the red dragon here.
And we do have Bahamut down, but we have the top of Barrier Tower, the Elder Branch.
So, this is Path to the Void for the Forest. If this becomes Path to the Void, this can, so it does not say anything about Fork. The Forest has to give a key item of some sort. Fork is sort of a separate branch. So, mainly because the event of Gloof dying, if you haven't played Final Fantasy V and you're not familiar with that, spoiler alert, Gloof dies at the end of this, and Cryo is needed to enter Fork because otherwise the game crashes, but the hint doesn't actually, at least I believe, does not identify the fact that you need to do that in order to get into Fork. So, it should just be a chain from whatever key item is gotten from this particular spot.
Unless the Barrier Tower Path to the Void just meant the Pyramid page. This could still be an absolute blank.
Sure. But it's not implying anything about Fork.
Correct.
Fleury does have a bard, so Stop Song can definitely be on the menu here, or Love Song.
Another ribbon here in the forest.
That's vanilla. That flame shield.
Is it?
Yeah. It'd be neat to shield if the forest doesn't burn down and turns into a flame shield after.
Alright, so that's great for the knight that they picked up earlier, if they can ever find another tablet to pick up that Excalibur that we know is sitting there waiting for them.
So nearly 32,000 HP in the spot, whatever 7,777 times 4 is. So this can be a long boss fight, depending on who's here. You're really hoping for something you can instant kill. You're really hoping for not Leviathan.
And to answer Judge Joe in chat, Judge Joe asking, in that case, you're saying that you never really know if Fork is needed unless it is directly hinted? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, unless you get a direct hint for 4, you're never really going to know if it's required or not.
So this is annoying. I know certain people, like Dry, would love to put on Mix and berserk up a panda here. But 32,000 HP of a panda is not fun.
No, but they do have Fire 3 Magic Sword.
Yes, and that is something you'd want to put on. It's probably something you want to put on so much that it would be faster to reset and redo your team.
Uh-huh. Nope, IBKarma's just going to bail and go to Moogle Waterway, which makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Because you know Moogle Waterway at the very least is required. You're not actually sure whether or not that Elder Branch is. And Fleury will get his Elder Branch.
So right now, as far as the location of the other 3 tablets, all we've got is a bunch of maybes, right? Maybe it's up with the adamantite. Maybe it's in the pyramid in the pyramid. Maybe it's in Moor Forest. We don't know.
And the adamantite may also be required.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, because we got the adamantite from the steamship key, and we got the steamship key in the ship graveyard, which was Path to the Void. Don't know. Locke, Karma has already been down here. He got hung up at Califisteri his first attempt here, so he knows what's in them. I'm pretty sure there was nothing valuable in them.
No. That Califite went a lot smoother than earlier, for sure.
Yeah, slightly.
So I wonder if I'm in Fleury's position. Do you go and beat this Panda even if you have a little bit of difficulty with it because there is a chance that this can give you a tablet? And then you can have X against X stuff. Right, like that's the key. That's really sort of the thing you want. Because right now, even with X-Fight, they don't actually have all that much DPS. And neither of them, I am sure, is remotely set up for Death by Nav strats that would make X stuff your
They do have the Holy Sword, right?
Sure, but you're only gonna be you're not gonna be able to combine that with X-Fight, and you don't actually have that good of a sword. Just in general.
Yeah,
so your damage will still be low. That X would be such an improvement. So do you go hunting for that second tablet? I say second tablet as if that's the only tablet we have. Second in terms of quantity.
I would probably try to take down the Sapanda, absolutely. Because that X-Cal would be ginormous when it comes to damage against X-Death, and you have the Knight to make it work.
Yeah, I don't... We've had Mix since 8 minutes into the seed. It is surprising that neither player has used it to any effect. Because that just makes life in general a lot easier.
Now, I think we found the Fire 3 spell somewhere, I think. So it would be fantastic if we had Black Level 5, but I don't think we do. I think we've had Black 3 or Black 4, I think.
Black 4, I believe, is what we had, because I remember I was thinking about Break when we got it. Soul Cannon in the basement here, so about 11,000 HP. Not too bad. Yeah, because the blessing against a melee would be nice. I would get... We don't have turtle shells. Otherwise, I'd say Bacchus, Wine, and Panda, because that just makes your life easier. If you have
We
Golem...
do have a turtle shell.
Oh, then I would Bacchus, Wine, a Panda, I'd throw up a Golem, and the fight becomes trivial. Although we do find a tablet in the basement.
Yep, and I would not hesitate. I would get out of here and I would go get that Excalibur.
It would quite frankly be a mistake to climb X-Stuff's castle without going to grab that X-Cal. I'm just pointing it out. You know the X-Cal is there, you know exactly what boss is waiting for you at the top of this tower.
And you say that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't change my commentary or opinion on that.
Wait, that's an Assassin's Dagger. Where did Fleury pick up an Assassin's Dagger? There's a Black Mage Crystal. Alright, so there's your ultimate damage there. I love the Black Mage. And they have a Wizard Rod.
Has he been fighting with the next cow? Then did he not pick up... Did he not pick up something 5 then?
No, he has. No, he didn't pick up the X-Cal. Neither of our runners did.
Okay. So is this X fight... Unless he didn't pick up Magic Sword 6.
Unless I'm completely wrong.
I was looking at Fleury's screen when he was doing that.
Alright, so now we're pulling a Panda here. Oh, we Berserkered.
Okay.
With the Artemis's bow. So we're going to have to look at IBKarma's equipment. Speaking of Artemis's bow, there's a second.
Because we know Fleury definitely picked the Magic Sword 6.
Wait, so... Yeah, IBKarma does have a knight. I wonder if he did pick up...
We'll certainly find out, like, by the time he gets to X-Staff. Oh no, I don't see Karma go.
There it is!
It wasn't an X-Cal. Okay, so he didn't pick up Magic Sword 6 then.
Yeah, that's gotta be what he neglected then.
Yeah, based on the animation. I still stand by, if he didn't pick up that X-Cal and he was climbing this tower without getting it.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree.
So, okay, because I'm like, we don't have enough hints to skip X-Stuff's castle. We have a hint for one of the 2 tablets.
Right. Well, at least one.
Yeah. But we don't have a hint for both, guaranteed.
Judge Joe mentioning in chat that sometimes you get a random Ragnarok in your inventory when you don't realize it. For me, that's I always make a note of when I get a Ragnarok or something, but for me, every once in a while, I wander into my inventory. It's like, how did this Assassin's Dagger get in there? Okay. And we have Leviathan here at the Carbuncle spot. Not fun.
Better than most places. If this were one spot later, it would be much worse. Double the HP. We do not have Bolt 3. Unfortunate.
But we had Thunder Rods.
This fight is getting out of hand for Fleury, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is dangerous here for Fleury now. IBKarma.
X-Fight. The problem with X-Fight is it can occasionally draw 2 counters. Luckily, didn't get double tidal waved. And the Mirage Radar. Well, we know that North Mountain is nothing, but Mirage Radar has very high tier shops. So,
And what do we get here from the forest?
just a shout.
A shout and a cryle.
So that pyramid page is Path to the Void, which both players were going to do anyways. It may take them the falls, or it may just be a tablet that is at Pyramid. It is odd because the only World 3 page we have is Pyramid, so it could very well just be a tour of World 3.
Or it could be one of the vanilla spots, right? It could be Odin, it could be... I shouldn't say vanilla, it should be one of the old logic, right? Tool Pass, it could be Odin.
Sure, but you know Pyramid, at the very least something in Pyramid is going to be Path of the Void.
Right.
So.
Alright, here's X-Death.
X-Death is extremely weak to Holy. Excalibur is a Holy Sword. So you're doing about 6,000, which is actually less damage than I thought you would be doing.
I'd slap somebody with Mix, and I would mix a couple of Samsung potions up and just to, really, pump X-Death.
Yeah.
Although that Assassin's Dagger Sword Dance is nice.
And I'm surprised that neither player is using Mix. Well, Dry, to your point, brilliant thing about X-Fight is that it doesn't miss, so the constant whiffing of swords is not a problem.
Ooh, and X-Death hitting Ferris there with a Fire 3, but Ferris has a Flame Shield.
What's nice about that counter is you get condemned and then you finish with a 29 over your head.
That's always fun. And alright, so Ferris finishes with a 5 over her head.
So about 12 seconds. Could take a couple. Well, I say seconds, not a second. But the haste cuts it in half. So, and Fleury will get his tablet 4 after beating Soul Cannon up here. So with us beating X-Death, we are now able to go to the merged world of World 3.
Yeah, and I would imagine we're going to get a beeline toward the Phantom Village, not only for the extra 2 hidden, but for the rather ridiculous loot you can buy out of there.
Yeah. It's either going to be, either that or Pyramid. It depends on how much money you think you have.
Hero Song. That's nice. X Zone. Okay.
Hero Song
choose.
Hero Song, I mean, you have Mix.
Yeah.
If you ever really use that. You have Mix and you have Mimic ability. That alone is pretty powerful. Oh, those hints were totally useless.
Totally.
And beating the NPC boss. Although, I will say, I think the true NPC boss is the NPC in Waltz. If you go into like that house that has one single chest in it, beating him on the way back is be difficult.
That one shop that Karma just visited, to me, I pick up every spell there. Dispel, 2 of your 3 black level 3 spells, Odin and Doom.
Yep, and we have some in We've had some in 5 since pretty early, some in 4 as well. Dark matter,
I just hate how expensive the dark matters are. Time mage? Nah, you have time level 6, then you have a black mage. Meh.
yeah, black mage, you don't do that.
Yeah, no. Ice 3 Meteo, Bahamut, level 3 Flare. Oh boy.
So what I would be interesting, maybe at Quintania,
Why do you sell a wizard rod?
when you have black mages, I have no idea. Fleury going immediately back to the next gal. I would almost pick up the Ice 3 sword, just in case you find Timmy at Quintania.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Of course, you have Odin, so you can roll the 50-50 there. That'd actually probably be faster, so maybe not. But yeah, Dark Matters are more reliable than the Doom spell for sure. So, to Judge Joe's point, maybe I pick up a couple. We do have one from Soul Cannon, so it's not that urgent. And again, it doesn't matter if you never put on mix.
Yeah, right? Hi, Galura. Bye, Galura. Or not.
We can get a triple counter here. Or we can get no counters. Alright. Well, you can X-Zone, you can Doom.
You can pretty much do what you want to Galura.
Yeah. Worry about to do his climb up Exto's castle.
And I imagine in the process picking up a black mage crystal and the Mirage radar along the way.
So I'm just pointing this out there. Neither player has gone back for that Quintania.
Nope.
If there is a tablet, and a single tablet, and you know there's the false page in here, and you're a tablet away, I think you just go immediately back to that meteor.
Yeah, after this, right, so there's the falls page. So, you know, let's assume the falls page is the only key item I get here. Right? I do the falls page, and then after that, I finish World 1 clearing, right? I finish that Quintania, and I do the Flying Lanka Ruins.
That would be the most efficient play. People may, so Antlion Cave is going to be faster than the first spot of Flying Lanka Ruins because Antlion has less HP than Soul Cannon.
True.
And I know there are certain people that like to see Boko. Boko is truly the best chocolate out in Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah, of course. Chest 1 in the pyramid.
Isn't it bad? Oh, odds that we find Giltos in here.
I'm actually gonna say no to that. I'm thinking Giltos is elsewhere.
I'm thinking the spot of Sildra, and I say a pair of running shoes, and let's go with a Ragnarok.
Well, there's the falls page.
You do have Odin. That also works here.
Yeah. It looks like he's committed to the 5 softs. Okay.
Alright.
I mean, it's consistent. Is it slow? Yeah, but it's consistent.
So there is a version of Career Day that has a weapons rando, or produce effects on weapons. And one of the things you can do is like, so you can get like a flare sword or something like that, or a flare. I think it's probably just a sword or a flare knife, or a doom knife or something like that, which has a chance to proc that spell. There is theoretically a chance for what is known as a darkness flail, which will instant kill every boss, including Ned.
So we did get a Waltz Tower key pickup there in the second trap chest. Well, third trap chest.
I have personally never seen a darkness flow, but I know it exists.
There's Freelancer.
Well, now you can just completely break it. Go put on your magic sword with flare sword, and go put on X fight, and there you go.
Another, hey, Karma gets a wizard rod to replace the one he sold for some reason. So, Flurry is... there's Ragnarok, you called it.
Here's Skilltop.
Alright. I think Flurry here is pulling X-Death without doing the Greg 4 or the Carbuncle spot.
Yeah, I believe that's true. Well, now you have zero worries about Neo X stuff whatsoever.
I mean, you pretty much, with the pickups you have here, you pretty much have zero worries about anything the rest of the seed for the most part, because you can either throw money at your problems, or you can cast spells at your problems, or you can just annihilate your problems. Dreselizer, the Carbuncle spot had Mirage Radar, which was Leviathan.
Yeah, I assume Flurry sees that he's an hour 30 into this and thinks he's behind. But yeah, you technically aren't gonna get punished by... Well, you get punished because you're gonna be lacking some things here. But in terms of key items, you're not gonna be punished by not getting the Mirage Radar.
So Flurry put Holy Sword on an Assassin's Dagger and just did a sword dance for $99.99 to the face.
As one does.
And we have a Sandworm here atop the pyramid.
So, if you're not familiar with Sandworm, unfortunately, no matter what hole Sandworm is in, Sandworm is always considered back row. So your melee will never get full damage. But Aqua Rake is 8 times effective. So. Alright, so you know it's either Falls or Waltz Tower Key. Well, you do Waltz Tower because that's significantly faster than Falls, and you're probably not looking for all that much in terms of items.
And we have Flurry booking it immediately to the pyramid, which makes sense.
Alright, Karma saying, I'm gonna go to Falls instead.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I probably would too, because Falls was hinted, right? I mean, the Falls page was hinted in the pyramid, and to me, I tend to favor, I don't know if I have any statistical relevance for this gut feeling, but to me, if something is specifically mentioned and you know something is Path to the Void, then I'd probably search it first.
Okay, I mean, and Falls is not terribly long. It's the idea that we're not really looking for, I think Karma was not paying attention to this.
No, not at all. I would reset. I would just reset right now.
I don't think he saved.
That's a problem. Well, I think we've seen this before, though, and I'm pretty sure Purboros can only life 2 twice from this spot.
But each one does it twice. Alright, do you have Magic Sword? Or do you get a Mage Masher? Or do you just wait for an Exploder?
Yeah, I might wait. I might wait for an Exploder here, truthfully.
Exo's
not gonna work.
I mean, that actually sort of does, oddly enough. I didn't realize that would be the effect there, so that's
No, I
interesting.
didn't either. So this should do it.
My thought was to be Demi into and then wait for the Exploder. And Aegis Shield at the far off chest and pyramid.
And the basement, that's nice. It's a nice thing to put on your knight. There we go.
Yeah, killing the Purboros without damage will result in a life too. Whether or not it's Odin Slash or X-Zone.
So let's see how many chests we're gonna get. We're gonna get to a check here. Yeah, it looks like he's only gonna check the things that are pretty literally right on the way at this point.
Makes sense.
He really doesn't need anything else.
Yeah, we're pretty stacked. You may want to see if you put Siltra and Leviathan aren't necessary. We have not seen Odin, so we do have Mind Blast, which takes care of Odin, although you'd want a Break Sword. That's really the only thing I can think of.
How about weight level 6? That's nice.
You know, it's going to be great for that Omniscient that's right here.
Well, he didn't pick up Dispel, I don't think.
Oh.
I know, I think you and I both instant buy Dispel whenever we see it, specifically for this Omniscient. That's probably going to be right here.
Never that lucky. I can only call that when it's on my stream.
That's Marigine. Okay, well, Marigine's gonna die in flames real quick.
Marigine is weak to random elements, but always starts off with fire weakness and absorbs the rest of the elements. So. Fire 3 will do damage. Is that Black Mage actually wearing Lizard Rod? I have no idea.
Yeah, that is not boosted Fire 3 damage here. Not at all.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it. Probably still has a little Thunder equipped.
Maybe. Ooh, this Ice 3 is gonna hurt. Well, the Lizard Rod boosts elemental spells 50%.
Yeah,
so
it'd be about 7.
Yeah, it'd be about 775. Or a Fire Rod. Because a Fire Rod will do the same thing. Alright, a Fire Rod boosts fire spells, Thunder Rod boosts thunder spells, Ice Rod boosts ice spells.
We should be doing enough damage to avoid the barrier change. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Closer than it should have been. And there is our first tablet. You immediately just start clearing World 1 checks, I think. Maybe
yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, this Tablet 3 is pretty well unhinted. It could pretty much be anywhere.
If you're feeling cheeky, you go to, like, Underwater Walls.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna do Boko.
Well, I wonder if IB is sort of remembering his match against me where he faded Boko and that happened to have the last tablet. this is technically going to be the fastest check available.
Yeah.
Okay. Except maybe that Twintania is faster, but...
Well, Twintania would certainly... Well, Twintania absorbs holy or is weak to holy? I think it's weak. Because I was thinking that the X-Fight, the Excalibur X-Fight would take care of it, but no, he's got Ragnarok now.
Yeah,
never mind.
It's a Ragnarok anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
You pick up the dancer who is just going to die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun non-damage.
And of course, the party just looks at him and laughs. Like, is that supposed to tickle?
Gotta get Quake. What are we checking this one chest that Karma didn't? And it's the magic lamp.
That's big.
Which would be important if we didn't already see triplets, didn't have Odin, and didn't have Giltos. Of course, Fleury does not have Giltos yet. He will certainly find it. So the thing is, right, if that Twintania has the third tablet, the moment either of these runners gets it, they are gonna feel so far behind.
So incredibly behind. Now, I know I'm one, I don't always, I wouldn't keep an eye on the race room, right, until probably just about the 2-hour mark. But if I were to fade that check, then I'd be like, uh-oh. And I would immediately check the race room for a dot done. Because I would feel so incredibly behind.
The thing about it is, right, there's a little bit of meta here as well. If you have faded a check like that for as long as you have, you may as well, an hour 40 in, you may as well say, if the tablet was there, I have lost. Right, and so you just continue to fade it.
That's true. Oh, hi, Minnow.
I believe we technically have throw, and you could throw that Assassin Dagger to instantly kill Minnow without having to deal with anything. I don't think it's probably worth it at this spot, but you could.
Nah, I don't think I'd waste. Ow! I don't think I'd waste the Assassin's Dagger on this spot. Well, this will be interesting. I wonder if Karma picked up Image and can slap Image on somebody.
I can imagine he has Image on somebody.
Ow!
As in, he has the ability. Whether or not he'll use it, I don't know. Whether or not he'll need to is a different question. Will start countering. And that's, well, or you just kill him straight out and not have to deal with the double or triple counters. Fine. Minnow only does that to me, I guess, and really hates parts.
Luichibo.
So Flare Sword, it's non-elemental, but does do 3 times damage. So it's a nice magic sword spell for sure. I know Flurry has throw. I don't know if Karma has throw.
I thought I saw it earlier. But we are getting Karma doing the Waltz Tower play, which I would imagine if this is blank, he'll do the Waltz Tower into the Waltz Meteor play.
Yeah, that would be my assumption as well.
Karma gets up and then jumps right back down. I can't tell you the number of times I have done that with the dash button on.
Yep. Giving the haven't played this. It's a little bit hard to tell, but there is a. That's our first Greg of the night.
I was just going to say, isn't that our first Greg?
It's also the first Greg. But there is a little bit of a delay for the directional once climbing up those vines, and so it's very easy to just get ahead of yourself and press up and fall down that pit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the vine room in the middle where you forget to hold right and you go up the center pillar and you're like, well, that was terrible. Karma was about to. He was at the airship and then was thinking, you know, I don't think I've done this.
So Fleury is immediately doing the Walls Tower check, which I would imagine is going to lead into the Walls Meteor check. The issue right now for Fleury is that he has not done the Falls check, which where we know Tablet 1 to be.
Yes, but he will know immediately after this that he needs to go to Falls.
Goodbye, Twintain.
Right, because this is the other branch that we have for that path to the void.
Right.
So nothing being here means that Falls is absolutely the path. Ooh, Shrine page.
And I don't know, I immediately follow that. It has the 2 trap chests and the boss spot there. That's 3 boss spots. I immediately go rush that.
Again, I think at this point you're thinking, I've baited this for so long, let me just do the adamantite. My question is, does anyone get cheeky and do the Walls Tower, or something Walls? You can break the Bone Dragon on top.
Golem's like, help me! And Karma's like, no, you're gonna die.
Well, apparently the healing golem, he's made of rocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Fleury, again, knowing precisely that it has to be Falls, goes immediately to Falls. And there's the tablet. So that is go mode for Karma. He's just going to... He doesn't need to sell, he has enough money for guild toss strats here. This is... Get one is faster checks, so good call there.
Yep. So it was the double hint we got, right? It was that the ship graveyard was Path to the Void, because the ship graveyard gave the steamship key, and the steamship key gave both the anti-barrier and it gave the adamantite, which was necessary. And the sub key too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. The front right chest.
Yeah, steamship held all the goods in this seed.
Shocking.
Karma selling literally everything he has so he can do guild boss strats all throughout the void.
So the one boss you don't want to see immediately here would be probably Odin. The first spot is by far the trickiest because it is a long walk back. So you don't want to be in a position where you could possibly die.
I mean, Omni wouldn't be, or Necrophobe wouldn't be fun.
No. Honestly, I forgot Necro was even a thing. I expect this to be Oops All Greg, but gargoyles.
Yeah, that's we've only seen the one Greg, so I'm expecting a lot of Greg in the void here.
Fleury or Karma thinking he's a little bit behind, I guess. I mean, there's nothing you really need here. To your point about Necro, getting a Sildra or Leviathan would be very nice. Fleury picking up Phoenix, not terribly useful, to be honest, as a summon. At least in most cases.
But to your point, though, there is still some really good stuff that you could pick up in some chests, right? There's Sildra, like you've mentioned, there's Leviathan that you've mentioned, there's running shoes that could be around, which would be wonderful. A Mass Immune, which would be wonderful.
And we know where Bahamut is. It was in a shop in Mirage, and I doubt I'm gonna pick that up.
Mystic Night Crystal pickup for Fleury.
Alright. Ferris is going to survive.
Alistair saying Chicken Knife, yeah. Chicken Knife would be another useful thing.
Did pick up Bahamut. Okay. That makes this easier. The barriers, I believe, should only have about 5,000 HP.
Yeah, but then Necrophobe himself will have, what, 20,000 here?
Yeah. That Hawklord might take out that top back. Or all of them.
Took out all of them.
I wonder if the HP distribution changed there. That was less HP than I think those barriers should have with the old formula.
Oh, there's Leviathan.
So, about these chests that Fleury is navigating, always open the chest from the front on those two. That's all you need to remember. Necrophyte is never misses, so line status means absolutely nothing.
Not summoning the Golem to protect against some of the big hits that Necrophobe is about to lay out, but he's done a bunch of damage.
That should be it.
Yep, that's it.
I think Cal would have done a little bit more damage against Necro, but not really worth it. If he didn't just sell the X-Cal. Fleury seeing his Meru.
Big Guard would be another wonderful pickup in one of these chests.
Yeah, we have Knight, it's fine.
Alright, who do we have here in the second spot? We have... Oh, Gargoyles!
We have Black Mages, which makes this nice, I guess. It's always a little bit difficult when you see Gargoyles here to reset and just put on Guild Toss. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean...
Gargoyles are heavy. You can do them. You just cannot do anything that requires a non-heavy status.
Ooh, Marigine does do the barrier change.
That is unfortunate.
And now it's a big old guessing game. What are you weak to? Oh, well, you won't be weak to Flare. Here, eat a Flare. Okay, one Gargoyle down, and it looks like the second will be down pretty soon. Those were some nice medium rolls.
You must really think you're behind if you're not even saving after that with the party the way it is.
Right? Because there are some things coming up here that you could wipe to, Odin being one of them. I mean, and Odin wouldn't.
You have Mind Blast.
It's this is just the Chimera Brain. Goodbye.
Alright, do you want to Doom Chimera Brain, or do you want to Exxon Chimera Brain?
Yes. Why not both? All right, let's see what else we got here in the void. 3 more spots left to check.
Well, we still have Greg 2, Greg 3, and Greg 4.
Yeah, right, why not?
Greg 2 at Twintania is surprisingly rude. This is also the nicest spot you can see Omniscient in the void. There's only 20,000 HP here.
Yeah,
really,
and
not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. You kind of wish you had Dispel to get rid of the armor and shell status that Omniscient inherently has, but eh. Fleury having problems with this Marigine.
Yeah, that's kind of concern me. HP can definitely be a lot, especially when you no longer know what weaknesses are. Flare Sword will work.
There you go. And bye-bye, Marigine.
We'll get his first tablet. See if he goes to Adamantite or goes somewhere else.
We have Karma pulling out the Meteos against Omniscient.
We can go has our Twintania spot as well. We didn't do. Does not have the Shrine Cage.
No.
I'd also go to the front of the library, but looks to be
Nope.
making the correct move.
Yep.
Putting on that Fire 3 sword, that is a nice move here. Both of these enemies are weak to fire. And breaking the top. 6,000 HP for the zombie dragon at the bottom, roughly. And 5,750. So actually, yeah, if I should just do it. A little bit more. Omniscient is down, does his Death Flare. And Fleury will be rewarded with third talent.
All right, let's see what we have here at the Halicarnassus spot. If you haven't seen Halicarnassus, it could be vanilla.
We've only had 2 doses of vanilla, so maybe we'll find 3. Nope.
Oh, it's a liquid flame.
Problems that can be solved with Odin.
Goodbye. Yeah, in this case, I don't even save here. You just go right onto the Twintania spot.
Greg 2 may actually be the hardest thing here left. Greg 2.
Or it's this.
So you have an 80% chance of Phoenix Downs hitting here. I will say that I've definitely seen 5 or 6 Phoenix Downs missing.
So Fleury heading into Ball Castle to do a little. Oh, he's going to do a bunch of selling.
Yeah, that's not enough for Guild Toss strats. You need about 140,000. Not going back and saving. I mean, sure. This is not a... This is something I was hoping the flag set would avoid, but I don't think we've seen a seed yet that hasn't done this. It's the most anticlimactic XF Neo XF fight possible, which is basically level up and then throw money. The inferior version is to level up and then spam Soldier or Leviathan. Basically, they're whole day strats. So that's what we're gonna see, whole day strats. And I guess we'll explain that more when we actually see it, but you'll see a whole bunch of mix, and a lot of Guild Toss. And then Mimic will just make things faster.
Right.
Which is why, to the point, there was a discussion like a long time ago in chat, back when we picked up the Mimic ability about Mimic not being a terribly good ability. That is something I just disagree with entirely, because the amount of time that Mimic Command can save in the final fight is actually not insignificant.
No, not insignificant at all, especially if you have like a Dragon Fang or two. Yeah. I mean, then it's huge.
Yeah, so Mimic does not get rid of any consumables. So if you have a single Dragon Fang in a potion, you can just mimic that mix for that character. And you also don't have to go through the item menu for the mix either. So it is faster by, again, not an insignificant margin.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you have to be wary of is you cannot mimic Guild Toss as the first command against that Neo-X stuff on the phase change. So we're gonna see, we're gonna first put on Life Shield, so Phoenix Downs and Revivifies. That makes you immune to instant death, which White Hole inflicts both break and death. And since you're immune to one, you're immune to both.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should point this out. There's a chicken knife.
There is a chicken knife.
If you don't level and you're about level 40 entering Neo-X stuff, you do about 3,000, a little over 3,000 damage by Guild Toss.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is, even without levels, it is a perfectly viable strat to just hold A and Guild Toss, assuming you can survive in all cast.
Which, given Karma's party, absolutely.
Yes. The only Aegis shield we've seen was the pyramid basement in the coffin. Yes. So we're gonna.
So it does. So there's the Mimic Crystal. That's nice.
So Simpson Power here levels your character by 10. So we're trying to get to anywhere between 92 and 100 and something. The higher your level is, the more money you're going to be spending on Guild Toss. Honestly, we have more than enough money to not care. You just want to be above 92, so you only have to do the minimum amount of Guild Tosses required. I think 91 pushes XF into 6 Guild Tosses rather than 5. But yes, this is very much a pay-to-win strat. This is sort of
absolutely
baby's first Neo-XF fight strat.
And we do have Fleury pulling Necrophobe.
I say that's sort of baby's first. It is also significantly the fastest way to get X stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's legal. I should specify once. People who are familiar with the speedrun will know that there is a mix called Kiss of Blessing that inflicts Berserk on enemies that even are immune to Berserk. and we do not allow that because it skips the transition from X stuff to Neo X stuff fight. And the goal here is to beat Neo X stuff. So using Kiss of Blessing actually on any boss that is immune to Berserk is actually just an instant disqualification, or just reset if you do it accidentally. Because you basically just break all the scripts with that block. But anyways, we get the yell of why.
I had the power of Void. But wait, what is Void?
It's Greg's nightmare come to life.
Speaking of, we only saw the one Greg.
Yeah. It's sad. These two players do both play Final Fantasy VI Rando and Worlds Collide. You don't see Greg there unless you're in the Game Boy Advance version, I guess. You'll see more Go-Go. So, again, we cannot start off with a Mimic here. You have to put in Giltos first. So if Karma does use Mimic here, it's just not going to do anything.
And there's the Giltos. Now it's just Mimic to win.
Yeah, the way your HP is, you're not gonna... You can probably just hold A. You can decide whether or not you want to wait and see if you can block off a double turn. It just depends on when that back part is going to get it, but we already saw the Delta attack, so you should just be free. And with that, Karma has finished. GG's to Karma with a 205.16.
Everybody get your GGs out in chat. IBKarma will move on to the next round to play the winner of Dreisleiser versus Judge Joe, who will be coming up actually not too much longer from now, just about 13 and a half hours, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Everybody get out your GGs for IBKarma.
Very well-run race. Like I said, I think he probably felt like he was behind. Was never really behind at all. But did end up saving time for it. Had a lot of power in sort of the mid-game area, but it didn't really need much else. A little bit interesting, because that sort of brings in sort of the Final Fantasy IV randomizer where you just stop looting after pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
Make all these comments about other Final Fantasy randomizers because both are pretty prolific on doing those other Final Fantasy randomizers. Certainly give our runners a follow, both IBKarma and Fleury14. Like I said, they do a lot of Final Fantasy randos. If you're remotely interested in that, check them out, follow them.
Yep. Fleury certainly very prolific, and I believe one of the admins over in the free enterprise community. IBKarma, of course, one of the admins here with FF5. Also does FF4 and FF6 randomizers, right? Free enterprise and Worlds Collide randomizers. I believe Fleury is also starting to pick up Link to the Past randomizer.
The dark side. I make my feelings about Link to the Past randomizer pretty well known. It's everywhere. That's all I'm going to say about it. Fleury going the AoE route. We will see. IBKarma should get an invite to this channel. Hopefully.
And we do have Fleury taking on the gets through the Necrophobe fight and is taking on the Gargoyles next.
We are beholden to the Speed Gaming bot in terms of racers getting the invite.
And Fleury has forfeited from the race, unfortunately.
GG's to both players. Uh, honestly, fast times. If Fleury wanted to continue, he certainly would be able to, and would also be pulling in a pretty good time.
Yeah, I mean, really, there wasn't much tricky about this seed at all. Yeah, the Bahamut up at Barrier Tower, a little annoying, but I mean, really, there was nothing difficult about this seed per se. It was just kind of more annoyances here and there, but just kind of routing differences that I think kind of separated Karma from Fleury. Karma certainly choosing to go into Exdeath's Castle with significantly less of World 1 completed than what Fleury did, right? Because I know Fleury did the Walls Tower check. Um, he did a couple other checks before going into Exdeath's Castle. So, Karma got there. And then once Karma got into World 3, right, getting into the Mirage Village really made him just kind of fly from there.
Yeah, it was actually sort of the Mirage. Flurry was able to skip Stuff's castle in terms of the bosses up in the basement, but Mirage gave a lot of power. Although I don't think either racer was really lacking in power, especially because they both went into Pyramid. Uh, Flurry did got his Watchtower key from the Pyramid, so that was after Stuff's castle. It was just IB was a little bit faster, say going for Barrier Tower. Um, but honestly, it was a pretty good race. It was just those sort of minor decisions really
Yeah.
played a role.
Yeah, exactly. And as I kind of mentioned, right? So IBKarma and Elk has won, and we'll take on the winner of our next race, which is coming up 13 and a half hours from now at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We have the other bottom bracket match coming up here somewhere on the Speed Gaming family of networks. Check your local listings in about 13 and a half hours for. But we will have Judge Joe against Dreiselizer coming up relatively soon for our next matchup.
It will be on Speed Gaming 2.
Oh, excellent. It got a sign. Beautiful. So Speed Gaming 2, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Again, hopefully we can get someone for an interview. IB is apparently having headset problems. But again, I am not in charge of Speed Gaming Bot, so I don't even know if they get the invites. They should.
Well, yeah, but if IBKarma's having headset issues, that's going to be an issue there.
Well, let's see.
Oh, hold on. Let me drag Florian. All right, and we are joined by LQ Fleury14 in the booth with us. Fleury, well played, man. GG's, nicely played.
Thanks. I regret not being a little more courageous in the mid game. that was a tough one. It was like I got lucky on quite a few fights for sure, but trying to convince myself I can do Barrier Tower really took a while, and then Bard Crystal shows up there, and I was like, oh, okay, I can totally do this now. And then like getting that second tablet to get that Xcal to get through Exdeath Castle, that was what I was looking for, and going straight to the Pyramid, because Pyramid in this tournament has been bonkers. So
And it certainly was bonkers in this one.
yeah, so like I think the strategy was sound, but I took like a lot of unnecessary early dead checks, and one of them was not flying Lanka. so it goes, but I'm actually quite happy with how I played that race. So cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
and go ahead, Farry.
One of the bigger differences actually was you ended up doing more forest, possibly because it was a possible fork in terms of the path to the void, and taking on that A Panda, whereas IB looked at it I think, died pretty quickly and said, "I'm not doing this." And then you, on the other hand, decided, "I'm not going to beat any of the XDev castle bosses after the basement." Uh, so you both sort of did different things. Um, Honestly, not as far behind as you may think, just judging by the finish times here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
The rest of the void was pretty soft.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
if I
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, and it's something Fiery and I kind of talked about before you joined us here. And we are joined, looks like, by IBKarma. It, you both kind of made your own choices, and it was kind of some of those choices that really led to the difference here, right? You doing the more forest, IBKarma clearing the other two X-Death Castle bosses, and one of them yielded the Mirage Radar, which of course is loaded, right? I mean, the one shop had Dispel, your other two Elemental level 3 spells, and it had, I think, oh geez, what
Doom.
Odin. So
Odin too, yeah.
and Doom.
Yeah, though it would have been. I still think it's probably a time save. Like Four Towers, one of the things I was like, all right, be prepared to have to make this off kilter play. But like at the time, I also wanted to loot the forest because like I wasn't sitting on good power at the time, and it's a pen. I was like, I got Magic Sword Fire 3. Maybe I make this work. But it's if the rest of the void was pretty easy, then I'm probably like 5-6 minutes out from a finish. So like I remembered, oh yeah, magic lamp. That's how I killed the gargoyle. So it would have been easy the second go. But what were the next 3 void bosses?
Omni was in there.
Yeah, but Omni was a catastrophe spot, so that's a joke. And
It was Omni, Liquid Flame, and then
Ira. T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Omni might have taken a little while, but with Mute Sword, that's not a thing. So, okay, yeah, like I'm honestly thrilled with how this went, even though I lost. Like, it sounds like it was relatively close. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The practice paid off. Like, Karma is absolutely fantastic at this game and knows way more about Final Fantasy V than I do. So, to be in the same neighborhood is honestly, I'm pretty happy about it. And yeah, it's been fun getting to practice and learn this rando over both this and the previous tournament. It really has been a blast.
That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. And Karma, GG, what are your thoughts on this seed?
Did the beginning of the seed felt any worse?
I mean, I don't know why you both decided, oh, I'm going to grab Mix and then never use it.
I had one dark matter, but then I sold it, so I really didn't have much. I mean, yeah, I could have mixed levels, and there was a couple. Yeah, there's a couple points that would have helped. I think the biggest thing I didn't do was I didn't buy the throwables after buying throw.
I think the other thing, there were a lot of times where Simpson Power would have helped just with the X fight, but really, you had blue, but of course I'm biased towards that.
Yeah, we pretty much ignore what you say about blue because you just use it whenever you find it. So we just kind of tune it out.
Yeah, everyone would have lost that seed to Fiery because it was early blue with Dark Shock and Wind Shrine when he just goes farms level 5 Doom and the seed's over.
Yeah. Fiery would have put up a freaking 130 on this one.
Mix is a thing. I think that's undervalued. It is. That's all I'm gonna say.
At least there was no Brave Blade to miss 50 times.
Oh, that's what X Fight is for, right? X Fight and Dance can't miss if you do use those 2 skills.
Oh, I did can't really miss on Dance. Yeah.
So where the heck did you guys pick up those Assassin's Daggers?
I don't know.
I don't remember where I got it either, honestly. I just remember going into equipping and be like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Was it Wind Shrine? Could have been Wind Shrine.
I have no idea.
It wasn't Wind Shrine, it was mid-game somewhere.
Yeah, because I was dancing with Dancing Dagger and
Same.
Mage Masher for basically the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, an Assassin Dagger popped up, and I'm like, oh.
I'm gonna guess Steamship then.
Well, because I know it was close to when we got Air Knife. Because I went in to equip Air Knife, and that's when I found out I had Assassin Dagger.
Tracks.
Yeah, no, but this was a really well played seed for both of you. It was pretty much close right up until kind of sort of the end there when, Flurry, you were doing War Forest, and IBKarma said, "Yeah, I'm not doing this at Panda," and went into the castle, and that was pretty much the major time difference between the two of you.
So I have to ask, what convinced both of you to go to Flying Lanka Ruins when you did? I mean, I think it was the right play. For me, it would be the fastest check available at that time. But were you thinking, at that point, you're like, if it really is at this spot, I'd be too far behind anyway. So let's go do some more cheeky checks.
For me, it was more of I had some stuff in World 1 to clear up anyways. But then I was like, well, Adamantite wasn't a hinted location. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not at the level where I should be meta-ing whether or not I'm ahead or behind. So, it was a hinted location, and those are the ones I'm going to do. So after Falls paid out, I was like, all right, that's the only other hinted location that I still have left. So let's do that.
We both basically also just like, please don't be Waltz Meteor. Like that Twin Tanya spot earlier, very early. Is like
that. That would have felt bad if that was the tablet and still nobody had finished. I am dreading the void bosses.
Well, I gave it one shot and missed the Deathclaw, so I was just like, yeah, all right, I'm out.
Well, you got your revenge later.
Oh yeah, I think it was one dance for like 4K damage.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yep. But yeah, it's certainly one of those things. I'm glad that it ended. Like I said, it ended up being closer than the times probably would suggest. I thought it was a nice race, especially kept me awake.
Oh, yeah.
Also, was your dance luck as bad as mine was with Tiara and Rainbow?
Depends on the fight. There were some where it was obscenely good, and there were some where it was not.
Mine was mostly not.
Yeah, I think Flurry's X Death fight was absolutely insane. I think he did one or two X fights and 2 dances, and X Death was dead.
Yeah,
my dancer just refused to do swords dance.
I think it was the Callow fight where I had like a lot of sword dances in a row, and I was going into that fight like, if this is a boss I can't get down quickly, it's going to be a problem. And then it's her, and I'm like, oh well, X fight's a terrible idea here. All right, go dancers. It worked out.
That Callow had your number. Did you forget that she is not immune to mute?
I did. I noticed it. What was it? There was a boss that was right after. It was near it on the boss chart, and I saw that Callow was also weak to mute, and I was like, oh, I had Magic Sword. Yeah, that would have taken care of the drain counter. So oh well.
Yeah, I was saying that because Karma actually wiped Callow after probably a good 5 minutes.
I just wasn't doing enough damage per heal because of the sword dance luck.
Yeah, I was just saying you had your dancers in the back row for such a long time. I was curious if you just forgot about that.
I did for a little bit, but also every time I switched them to the front, if you noticed, immediate one shot.
I was just saying because you had a magic sword user during that first fight and Mute Blade.
I didn't even think about Mute Blade, I'll be fair.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I sort of noted in terms of where you could have certainly saved quite a bit of time. But other than that, it was a really full run race by you. Did you think you were behind where you just started skipping chess, or were you just like, I have everything I need?
As soon as I finished Pyramid, I think it was, and I got Ragnarok, Guild Toss, and Freelancer, I was just done. I already had in-game.
Okay.
I mean, I was done at Freelancer because I already had a plan at Freelancer with summoning Bahamut, and I think I had 4 gold hairpins.
And the Mimic ability.
Yeah, he was dead. He was gonna die one way or the other between Mix Summon.
So I don't have any other questions other than what final thoughts. Z-Man, do you have any questions?
No, I think we've pretty well covered it all. I think, well played race.
Yeah, thanks. Got one more tournament to keep on practicing for, and then this season of Final Fantasy Rando tournaments gets to take a break for a little while. So
good luck on the Red Moon.
I feel it. I'm in 3 different Final Fantasy tournaments.
I was gonna say, I think you're also in all 3. So there you go. Well, the Ultros League is starting in 3 weeks, so I shouldn't say that.
Oh. Now I'm gonna be in 4 again. Thank you.
F1. I'm surprised FF1 is even taking a break. But no, I mean, certainly, like we said all night, give these 2 runners a follow. They do Final Fantasy randos regularly. 4, 5, and 6 happens to be on their radar now. You're both still in ZZ5, correct?
Yeah, I play tomorrow.
I also play tomorrow.
Yes. So, certainly, I assume quite a few of our viewers probably already know that, but certainly do give them a follow. With that, Fleury, a very good showing for you. I remember you saying after last match that pretty much, really at this point, you were satisfied for how far you got into the tournament. And
yeah, house money.
House money, pretty much. No, you put on a very strong showing. I look forward to seeing you both in the FF4 side and hopefully more on the career day side. I'm hoping we can get a more regular event going on. We'll see.
Yeah, I keep trying to push the free enterprise folks, and I ain't gonna stop. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the next one. Whether it's a variety or whatever, I appreciate all the work that goes into it. I know it ain't easy. So yeah, thanks for taking care of all this. Yeah, this was definitely house money. I did like being able to say you got top 4 in all 3 randos in an event would be nice, but I also came into this one thinking, the whole tournament thinking, I'm probably going to go 0-2, but if I learn something, that's what's important. So getting 5th, thrilled with that. So thanks, y'all. I appreciate it.
And IB, you move on. You get to face the winner of Dryzalizer versus Judge Joe, which will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2. Any preference on who you want to race? Or both equally fine for you? I guess you've played Dry quite a bit. I don't know if you ever played Judge Joe, though.
What did I say? I think me and Drive played in about every tournament. No, this is actually Judge Joe's first tournament, so
Yes.
Interested to see how he does against Dry tomorrow. Dry notorious for knowing just about every detail about everything in this game. But yeah, me and Dry have a history of racing each other. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. But some of Judge Joe's runs and numbers have been impressive. So, like I said, that's gonna be a good race tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always nice to see. Judge Joe is obviously familiar with from the free enterprise community, and sort of to Fleury's point, it seems like there's definitely a couple of people that are going from free enterprise and taking a look at career day, which is nice to see. And certainly them coming in and being competitive pretty quickly. For those of you who haven't given this randomizer a try, do give it a try. It is pretty quick to pick up. There are some niche things that you need to learn or should learn, but It is a fun. It is. It's honestly completely different than the other Final Fantasy randos. But we try to be supportive to everyone. So I don't know, but we do have our Discord. So go do check that out. With that, again, good game to both Fleury and IBKarma. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Z-Man, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, I can do that. Again, do keep in mind that 2 p.m. Eastern time, so just about, 13 hours from now, we do have Dreiselizer versus Judge Joe, winner of which will take on IBKarma, and that will be on Speed Gaming too. So I hope to see everybody there in a bit. Otherwise, I hope everybody here has a fantastic night, and I'll see you next time.